Good, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time it is you're listening to it. It is episode 4 of the Witch King podcast. I'm joined with my usual guests, Mark, Alan, Dave. How are we all doing?
Yeah, doing good, man.
Loving it.
Hi, doing alright.
Loving your fuck-ups. It's good.
There are many of them. Unfortunately, it is 9 o'clock, so for us it is good evening, so I've got a fair couple of excuses to why my brain's lagging already, but yep, here we are, episode 4. We've made it this far. I mean, if I didn't make it to episode 4, it would have been pretty tragic, to be honest, but here we are. We've got 2 events coming up. We've got Rule of 2, which is hosted by our very own Alan Liddell, before we move on to an event in Ireland, actually, so we're going international, so to speak. It's not just Scotland. For a bunch of the guys attended the 100 the 100 point GBHL event in Ireland, which is called, it Battles on the Coast, Numbers Beyond Reckoning.
That's the one.
It's a name for you, yeah. So before we get to that, of course, we're going to start with an event that we all attended in Bathgate in Scotland, which was hosted by Mr. Alan Liddell. It was called Rule of 2. I could give us a brief rundown, but I'll let you dive into your thoughts behind it all. So it was a 600 point event, 4 games, GBHL 90, nightly gaming, Bathgate, which probably by now we're all pretty familiar with. Good events, good food is all cool. And it was Liddell who ran this event. Take it away, Liddell. What was your thoughts with this one?
One of my weird and wacky ones again. Just wanted to put it down. So it was, for any of you Star Wars fans out there, Rule of 2, obviously, is from that. And almost every hero, was given a free Andúril to use in the game, and it replaced their combat weapons. So like stuff like the twins and Gimli could not go 3 attacks because they no longer have 2 axes or 2 swords. They've only got the one.
And so it kind of meant that a lot of people in army building was sort of like go all heroes to get the free weapons.
Maximize, yeah. I mean, there's quite a few. 3 breaking into the fellowship lists and one actual fellowship list. So that was quite a lot of points worth of Andúrils running around on hobbits. But the other thing is you had to have multiples of 2 for your heroes, and there had to be different tiers. Which
of course
we'll cover that later in the armies that won.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I had a few practice games of this and actually really quite enjoyed the practice, and which was quite foreshadowing. I really enjoyed the event as well. Like you say, you could go all heroes, get the 3 weapons, get 3 points, but as we'll go on to speak about, ultimately the winner didn't necessarily make much of a... I didn't get much of the use of the 3 weapons, to be honest. I mean, I'm sure they helped, but Ian McGregor. Oh, Dave, are you speaking because you're quite quiet there?
Yeah, no, I'm saying we'll go into what's in Ian's list, but I think actually the few weapons were pretty useful for him.
Yeah, well, that's a good point to start then. So Ian, like I said last week, he's on an absolute tear now. He's from a quiet start to the season for various reasons, getting married, very selfish. He's been back with a bang, to be honest.
Is that his second or third win this year?
Least
second. Third technically, but second in GBHL.
In GBHL stuff, yeah.
He won the 80 point right at the start of the year, did he not?
AUE. It's right at the start of the year.
8 points for top Scot, but it's not a GBHL event.
So he got 2 GBHL wins now.
Aye, because he won Point earlier in the year. And he's had another couple of podiums since he's been back as well, Clay, because he podiumed up in Dundee, which we spoke about.
He was undefeated at Point of Might, though, right? He didn't, I think.
You think the War is Upon Us as well. He podiumed that. He was undefeated, but he was second to Finlay, I think.
On a tear, nonetheless. So he took the Surpers of Erebras to this event, Rule of 2. Absolute meta slave nowadays, our Ian. He just whatever's hot he takes. fair play. Like I'm pretty jealous I don't have this list, but it's we haven't really covered it massively in this podcast. So it's Freka, Wolf on the horse, couple of chieftains, and I'm not going to go into exactly the warbands, but the interesting information for audio listeners, if you're out driving about, it was 1, 2, 3, 4 Kerbin. So at 600 points for, I don't know if that's sort of low, high, but it's
warband.
Yeah, and a model
like
count
that's,
of
to me, that's what they should be capped at.
47
can-
models.
You can definitely fit more at 600 if you want to, and it's not a bad idea. But this is probably about the minimum that I'd be looking at if I was running this list at 600. But they
I
are
was thinking
wild.
it was 4 heroes for this was the sweet spot. Not so much those 4 heroes, but
Yeah, if you could get, I was looking about when I was list building for it, for armies that can actually get 4 heroes and still bring an actual army with them at these points, which is tricky for some armies. I mean, obviously, like anything where your heroes are even slightly expensive, if you've got multiple of them that are expensive, it's just kind of not happening at these points, unfortunately. Getting 4.
I mean, there's still quite a few lists out there that can get access to cheap independents, so you can still get 3 heroes and like a half that'll cover.
Yeah, I mean, any list that has a hero drummer does that for you, which is ideal, which both myself and Dave did.
And crucially, we weren't playing Fog of War, so like taking a drum isn't going to be an absolute liability or anything like that.
Yeah, I think the big thing though is like the missions were pre-selected, and while it's pretty cool to take all hero and you get an entire army with Andúril, that wasn't necessarily the best for some of the missions because it was command the battlefield first, which is
hard with heroes.
One that needs numbers, like because you're trying to claim the table quarters. And then after that, we had game 2.
Was it Treasure? No, was it Treasure?
Yeah, game 2 was Treasure Hoard, and game 3 was Convergence.
Yeah.
So all of those, like, it did lead up to Contest Champions at the end, where if an all-hero army had made it to the top table in the final game, it was laughing. But for an all-hero army to get to the top table final game was going to be quite a difficult thing, whereas what Ian's got here, well, like a lot of guys, is definitely helping him out in those earlier missions.
Yeah, so
almost like someone thought of that.
The
the
other side of the fact that, like, obviously he didn't have the big heroes is like he doesn't care really about getting slapped off an Andúril because he's just all D3, D4 pish.
Heroes are wounded on 4s anyway, really.
Yeah, I think it's one of the nicest things about bringing so many tribesmen in this list is like there's armies at 600 at 600 points that in other events I would have been tempted to take, that like I had a look at what's it called, Army of Erebor list that brings a bunch of Iron Hills, but when everybody's got Andúrils, your defense 8 doesn't mean shit anymore, and you're just spending those extra 3 points or whatever it is per warrior for nothing when you're fighting against heroes anyway. And taking these guys where the chieftains are defense 4, the actual tribesmen are defense 3. Freka and Wolf probably don't like it very much, but everybody at the event is going to have heroes that are hurting because of the Andúrils. I think it's a pretty
Wolf's
good.
on a horse, and Freka can hide. He just didn't have to really,
Yeah, Freka doesn't really have to be all that involved.
He's pretty much like Denethor.
Yeah.
I think it's a very good read for Ian bringing this list.
The biggest thing about it is the +1 to wound against heroes.
Yeah.
The fact that the entire army is +1 to wound heroes. You know there's going to be a few people that have brought all hero. And then even then you've got the Kerbin to just target enemy heroes as well.
Yeah.
Like, you're probably not killing a Kerbin with a hero because it's 4 wounds that can't be trapped.
Yeah, so on that note, because for us, we've probably spoke about it, but anyone just listening in, I've been asked a few times, why is everyone going on about Kerbin? Why Kerbin? I mean, because initially it doesn't jump off the page, because if it did jump off the page, this would have been happening months and months ago. But fundamentally, Kerbin, keep me right if I've missed anything here, but the fundamentally 20 points, which is for 4 wounds, is already, you're thinking, well, that's good value. On top of that, they fly, which is this scenario pack that we have just now. Flying I don't. Are they beasts? Correct me. I think they might be. Are they beasts, or can they pick up
so
objectives?
they can't pick up objectives.
So they can't pick them up, but regardless, they can like obviously fly to objectives to interact with people trying to pick them up or whatever. And flying's just outrageous. They can only be shot on 6s. They cannot be trapped, crucially. So effectively, with all that in mind, obviously you can just fly into battle lines, trap heroes, trap banners, trap whatever it may be. They can't be trapped themselves. Yeah, so they can do any of that, and ultimately, I think the crucial thing that all of that, I think what it does boil down to is the points and the wounds, to be honest, because what they're mostly used for is just tar pitting, like you've just said, Dave. Is you just chuck them into whoever. I mean, really, it's like even Elisar's probably not going to one-shot a 4-wounded, unless he's obviously on a horse or whatever, but probably not going to one-shot a
You can't knock them down, can you?
Yeah, that's the other thing. I missed, sorry.
And you definitely, the way you're using these, you're definitely not going to get them killed if you charge them, because nobody's going to have 4 attacks, unless it's the Balrog, is going to have 4 attacks just as is. And even if they do, they're unlikely to wound it, or they're unlikely to do all the wounds to it, sorry. So at any time you see your opponent setting up a nasty heroic combat that you look at and think, if that comes off, I'm gonna be in trouble here. Just chuck some birds at him and suddenly he can't do it anymore.
Yeah. And I think if you made them like fearless as well or something.
Was she getting white hand? So that's the other thing.
Do you mean fearful in terms of trying to help them? Yeah. Let's not be making them fearless.
They're fearless based and fucking wild.
Other side of the coin there. Other side of the coin.
Well, they are fearless if you take them in white hand, because you get the Oathmaker, and then you can just charge whatever. Doesn't give 2 shits.
As long as they're in range or something.
Yeah, but so like I hope that's the rundown, because again you might be thinking, I'll just kill them, but I mean if you have like 7-8 of them, it's just they just tar pity for 3-4 turns. And one thing that I'd like to speak about is that, so David Farmer, being obviously leading the GBHL just now, we all follow quite closely in terms of his results. He mentioned that what you need to think about with usurpers is that it's not necessarily like an elite list in any shape or form, but in tournament play you need to be considering like time and how long you've got left in rounds. And it's not necessarily that you're slow playing anyone, it's just that this army can slow armies down so much they may be trying to achieve something and they're just getting tar pitted, that eventually an hour and a half time's gone, 2 hours, whatever it may be, and you've barely even killed 5 Crebain, whereas the rest of the army just does what it needs to do. And I think if you're to play at home in a practice game, your friends are around and you're playing against usurpers and you're just going on and on and on and on, you might just think this list is rubbish because you just kill it all. But in a tournament scene, this is where it completely shines, and that's the strength of Crebain, really. So yeah, that's what the winning list. Ian, amazing, to be honest. I think actually a good point to bring you in, Dave, because you'd played him on game 4. So this was a 4-round event, so it was ultimately for the win, right? So any key points about that matchup? How'd that go?
So me and Ian were the only 2 players. Yeah, we would have been the only 2 players on 3 wins after the first 3 games. I was using lots of scouts, so you're caught at the end of last week's podcast, you were thinking it was going to be a return to the Harads, but actually it was a brand new army for me. Lots of scouts, and it was Contest of Champions, so I'm looking at it and going, right, I'm at a bit of a disadvantage here. Like, Lurch could just go and one-shot Wolf, but Wolf's got 3 wins, 2 fate, whereas I'm only got 3 wins, 1 fate. I do get a 6+ save though, so we're like similar characters, but if he charges me, I'm just dead. Like, because if Wolf charges, he's knocking me down with 8 dice, needing 3s. 2s if he goes 2-handed with Andúril, which you never, but 3s is probably enough. And I was in 2 minds, to be quite honest. I sort of set up with a little bit of gap so that he couldn't just charge lots off turn 1, but I could get through the gap. And he'd left me a bit of gap, so I could have just charged. And actually, in hindsight, I regret no just going for it. Especially because Lurch has got a shield throw, and typically you want to be using that shield throw to knock down infantry models, but you can it's a one-use thrown weapon, and if you hit an infantry model, you knock it prone. But you can still use it on a cavalry model. And what I was kind of overlooking is the fact that it's a sharpshooter, so I could have chose to just throw my shield at his horse right off the bat, hopefully kill the horse. It's freeze where you roll to hit, being forced to wound, 50-50 there. And if he doesn't roll the 6, he's at the very least he's not striking any blows against me. So I think I should have done that. What I did instead was he left me like a bit of juicy charge and a couple of tribesmen, and I'm thinking, well, if I charge these 2 tribesmen, Lux gets a free heroic combat and heroic lots of scouts, and I'd kind of like pinned Wolf in a way that even if heroic combated off this one guy, he wasn't really getting anywhere of any value. I was like, well, I could go in, charge these 2 tribesmen, heroic combat off them into another 2 tribesmen, be safe for Wolf for turn 2, and be 4-1 up on kills, and then I get free heroic combat, so I might just be able to outpace him. And I was like, maybe that's better than the pure risky play of going in and potentially just dying turn 1. But
I can see it.
I ran in, I did not kill the 2 tribesmen that I was fighting, and was in a bit of a nasty position for turn 2. He won the move off turn 2, charged me. We both struck, because both fight 6. We both heroic struck. He rolled 5 on his heroic strike, I rolled a 4 on mine. So he went to fight 9, I was only to fight 8. He won the combat, he threw 8 dice to wound and freeze, and I died, and that was it, turn 2. Wee bit of coin flip.
Like Fury save at least.
I remember my 6+ saves, I didn't roll enough of them to survive the like 6 wounds or whatever he did in me. Because I've only got 1 fate.
Are they like the bear saves, or it's a natural 6, or can you mite it? Not that you would probably want to, but I mean, if you're in a position,
you would if it was going to stop you for dying. I need to check, to be quite honest.
I'm looking at it just
brand
now.
New army to me.
It's natural 6.
It is natural 6. I think it is for most. I know it is for Durin, for example, from using Khazad-dûm. So I think most of those things are natural 6.
Right. So essentially just like Malbeth that gets the 4 up.
Yeah.
But obviously you can't say a natural 4 up.
So Dave, do you take the... I'm just for anyone else listening as well, I'm a wee bit more familiar with Uglock Scouts rather than Lurtzes. I know Lurtzes Scouts, you get 3 heroic combat, the movement all goes up to 8. Is that across the board on everybody?
Movement across the board goes up to 8, yeah.
So when you drum, you're moving 11 inches. So do you take a drum?
11. I took a drum. You kind of had to in the pack, the way the pack was constructed, as you see there.
Yeah.
Ian's got his 4 heroes because you had to have the 2, like the pairs of heroes. So the drummer fits in nicely because you got Lurtzes of Valor, and then I took a captain and Mohor, who are both Fortitude, and then the drummer, who was a minor hero, so that worked in 2 pairs of 2. I really liked the list. I really enjoyed using it, actually. I really enjoyed painting it up as well. I think it's got quite a bit of play, and I think it played quite well into the missions. And Con Champions, I was always a bit worried about. I looked at this list and I thought, Wolf, I could have a go at him, but I'm still slightly at a disadvantage just because he's got the horse.
So can you take Uglock, sorry Dave, in that list, but you can't take orcs, is that right?
You can take Uglock, but you can't take orcs, aye.
So is that why you... Because when you said you take Mahur, you don't take Uglock, is that because of that, pretty much?
So I took Mahur because he's got free attacks, and I think the Andúril with a free attack model was very strong.
Yeah.
It was a choice between the captain or Uglock. I wanted the captain because the fact I'm having to pay for the drummer, I just wanted like a few extra models. Uglock is okay in that list. He can still head take to get the the automatic pass stand fast. He can still do that, but it's that list has got a 66% break point. So when I break, I'm only 3 models away from being 25%ed. So there's actually sometimes that it just never comes into play. And I was like, don't really need it, to be honest. I think in bigger points games, you probably would take him. But I just opted for the captain and an extra couple of guys this time.
It's quite weird that Uglock actually has March. I've never seen like a March, which is really rare on non-captain models.
Yeah, all the scouts do.
All scouts, though.
Uglock, Lurtz and Mohor, they all have it.
I mean, obviously you don't need it.
He's sort of a captain
adjacent
adjacent model. He's sort of one of those heroes that's just kind of a soaked up captain. I think his actual profile name is Uruk-hai Scout Captain, isn't it? Uglock Uruk-hai
I think he is
Scout
called Uglock Uruk-hai Scout Captain, yeah.
But I know you don't need
sad.
March really, because you got the drum, but yeah.
You got the drum and it's giving you 3 marches, but as I say, I quite enjoyed using the list, and that game with Ian was always going to be a bit of coin flip.
How many models did you have, Dave?
I had 38.
Good number.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really, movement at 11, this scenarios, I take it that was the the main thing then, really. I mean, obviously, strength 4, good fight, but like movement 11 is obviously the big selling point of that, right? I mean, it's outrageous.
In the other 3 scenarios, it's really, really useful. Like, I had chatting to Ian before the game, he was like, I'm glad that I'm playing you in this mission and no in like Convergence or Treasure Road or something like that, where you're just going to get to the objects much quicker than me. So, but no, and I think it's a really well constructed list by Ian, and it really suited the pack. So, he's used it well too, because I think that's his first time using it. To my knowledge, I think it was his first event with it. So,
he's done a good job painting as well, which is something Ian's not really attributed with. It looks really good.
I liked them. I know, like they're nice. It's first sort of time really looking at the models in depth as well, and I think they're like nice models.
I think they went
nice
down late when for the painting votes.
I think they must have done. I don't remember actually seeing them. I think I'd.
Oh, no. It's because I was winding him up, and then he just done it out. But they didn't stick out badly, if that makes sense. They look good.
He put them in eventually, but I had quite a few folk had already voted by that point. So
yeah, not to rub it in, but he was the only person not to get a vote. But that's probably because
yeah, now
it's a
man's got a family. Like,
okay, no, it was probably because he was late.
He did put it in,
and other people, like Dave said, like other folk had already voted and then walked away.
Okay, now
certainly it looked as good as at least some of the other ones that were put up for best painted. So we should have gotten a vote if it was.
I would not have said out of the 9 that were there that was the worst. There you go.
That's a really nice thing to say.
I actually thought the standard of painting, and I know we're kind of skipping ahead a little bit because we've not spoken about Sector Third, but I did think the standard of painting on the whole at the tournament was really nice. There was quite a new armies, and obviously, like Alex Bordas, who normally wins the painting awards, he wasn't there, which meant it was quite an open competition. I felt
maybe that's why there were so many.
Maybe that's why so many people entered, because
there's a requirement for a competitive painting competition.
I mean, that might be one of the highest amount of armies that we've seen at events this year.
There was like 9 people led.
It's mad that for there to be a competitive painting competition in a Scottish event, you need Alex Bordas to not turn up.
That was half the field as well.
Is it Matthew or he's a nice guy? He brings the light. Is it?
He does the high.
It looks really good to be fair.
Because we're turning his light off.
I liked his army actually. I played
it. Did look really good.
He was tied with JK on 4 points each, but JK was slightly higher up in the rankings. That's what tipped the balance.
I guess since we're speaking about the paint, now if you're going to chuck up it was Gone Forsyth who won it with his Bjornums, and they were really cool. I think that again, that's another brand new army that he's painted for this event, which is mad because they didn't get any benefits to the Andúril, and his bears are getting wasted on force, so didn't feel like the event to take them. But I know he'd been working hard getting the army painted and just wanted a chance to use it. So
he wasn't the only one using the bears.
Yeah, there was Chris Stone who I played game 1. He brought the bears as well.
He also brought the third, didn't he, Mark?
He did. Yeah, I got smashed this event. It did not go my way at all.
Like during the event, there was an additional prize for most kills with Andúril, but you had to kill someone with Andúril. So somewhat lightsaber battle, of course. And I kept on asking everybody, like, how many did you get? And it was just second nature to just go down the list and constantly turn around to Chris and then ask him and then catch myself, but a bit too late. But he did, in the final game, get a kill, so he did get 1 tally mark after 4 games.
Nice.
I didn't count because I just knew there'd be somebody with like Fellowship that's just going to win it.
It was the fact that if you played the Fellowship, you were able to get quite a lot, which that's why Mark O'Brien won it in the end, because he killed 7 of the 8 Fellowship members.
So did that, actually. I didn't even count. I played Finlay game.
No. That was just in his last game.
But it has to be with a hero, does it not, as well?
Yeah, it has to be with a hero.
He had some pretty beefy heroes.
He was running road to Helm's Deep. So he had like 4 heroes or something.
Ride Out.
No, Road to Helm's Deep.
It was Ride Out.
Is that a different list? I'm sure it was Ride Out.
I played it.
No, it was definitely
Road Deep, because it's the one where if his horse dies, he can get a new one.
I'm pretty sure it was Road to. I was talking to him after.
No, you're right.
I know I'm right because he sent me the list.
I actually played against Breaking the Fellowship twice and was like, this would be a chance to rack up some kills for these side quests. And in both games, I just killed Aragorn and that was it. Like, it killed other models, but it was just Urukai Scouts killing them. The only model I killed with
I mean, you
Andúril
can
was
chase
Aragorn,
down the hobbits pretty
who did
easily
it twice.
with Urukai.
Moher
incorrect,
charged
it
one of the
was.
hobbits to try and kill him with Andúril, and then Legolas just went, shoot, you are dead, immediately. So,
That's nasty.
they were
right.
actually really thematic battles, which were cool, though, so it was actually nice to get a chance to play against Breaking the Fellowship with lots of Scouts a couple of times.
It's good when you get those sort of like thematic matchups, right?
Aye.
But get back
I
on
told
track.
them that they had a
So
good chance because there was 3 Breaking of the Fellowships and then 1 Fellowship.
Yeah, we can cover the other couple of podium lists as well.
but yeah, to say, yep, well done, Gordon. Obviously, Jakey known to others. Really cool army, actually. I was winding him up saying you're not going to win your display board. So I'm pretty sure he's away making a display board just now to enhance it. But that looks cool.
Well, I mean,
done.
I will be aiming to award the display board people for next year. So
I do think. Anyway, let's get back on track. Second place, Finlay, Ivan Stanifor. Not
yeah,
here to.
we had them behind the prize because it's better that way.
Ivan
Agreed.
Stanifor. Exactly. Good segue of me there because it was the fellowship he ran. Bunch of free weapons. How many? Everyone apart from Bill the Pony would get one, right?
Yeah, he was a bit angry that he couldn't get a Andrew on Bill the Pony, but I was like, no.
We played game 4 and I called him a shite bag because I was like, pick Bill the Pony as your champion for contest, and he nearly done it, to be fair.
Should have said you didn't need the points. It's fine.
Well, yeah, I mean, I played Finlay at the event. It was contest, which was unlucky for me because we're playing on game 4, table 2, so probably playing for a podium. I mean, he ended up taking it the second, but contest of champions, I was using Halls of Thranduil against Fellowship. It was tough, but came right down to the wire, actually, because he only had Aragorn left at the end. I think it was just Aragorn, maybe somebody else was alive, but it was tight as anything.
Well, you never actually killed Bill, did you?
I got sent right up the road.
You say that
I don't
like
know, maybe I
the
didn't.
first thing. The first thing you killed, like he was still on the table, like one of his last models to die. And I'm just like looking at it, like, how is Bill still alive? Anyone that walked up to that table was like, why is Bill still there?
And like the last turn near enough, he was still there.
Yeah, Bill won the combat in like the last turn, or second last. I think I eventually got him, but
I don't know how many times like I looked across and it was just him getting a banner reroll for Bill or something, and then getting a 6.
It's like 2
wounds and 2 fate.
Exactly, yeah. It's 2 wounds and 2 fate. It's outrageous. Like, and he's a banner, and also
40 mil base, you can get like 6 guys around them, just scud. Dead.
No, but there's a little thing called he has about 70 might and I've got about 6, so eventually I'm not getting the priorities and I'm not going to get to move first. And also the fellowship, he has Legolas as well, so these are said and done. But the fellowship rule is they pretty much get like a Lord of the West reroll, and is that just to wound, or is that to win the fight? I can't remember, actually. I think it's to wound, isn't it? They can reroll 1 dice to wound.
Yeah. So it's specifically if a friendly model's within 3 inches of another fellowship model, they can reroll a dice to wound when striking.
And obviously they've got Andúril, so it's nasty. So I couldn't get through to Bill. Eventually I got Sentinel them. But that's a good game. Obviously I didn't win because I killed nobody with my
you're too rusty
champion
this year.
Nah, just hard, isn't it?
It's funny when you even see the wee hobbits are killing guys, though. Like we met him about killing guys on 4s.
Or he put the ring on Frodo turn 1 because he thought he was a big man. And he's like, oh, that's going to come in handy. And then after turn 1, I think he failed like 3 of like 4 of the rolls for the ring. So he could never take it back off. So he was just, and it ended up like putting him right under the cosh because Frodo was just charging into me every turn and it killed him. Quite hilarious, actually. A good game.
It's cool seeing them do this well with this list, because I mean I was talking to him about the list before the event and was saying you should definitely take it because it's funny, but it shouldn't really do that well, and for him to take it to second, I think is pretty good. All for the reasons that were laid out by Dave earlier, with the scenarios kind of should knock it off earlier on. I think he played the Bears twice, which is quite a good matchup for it. I don't know what his other game was before yourself, Casper.
He started with JK. He started off playing the Bears.
Yeah.
Because that's why I ended up playing him in game 2. JK, that is. Right. I don't know who played game 2 and 3.
His one loss was to Ian, so again, their circles really shine with him getting +1 to win that entire army.
I will.
And that was I want to say that was in Treasure Road game 2, I think, when he played Ian.
Yeah, it was.
It was,
because Ian's game 3 opponent is the next person we're going to talk about who came third, actually.
Yeah, because he played Chris Stone as well, game 3 against.
Yeah.
So he played Bjornins, lost to Surpers, Bjornins again, and then he played me in contest with Fellowship. So it was pretty. Yeah, it's tough, but
I think he said that the way in the first game against the Bjornins, he was able to actually kill them before they even transformed.
Yeah, because he was ground gloating at me, and I was still setting up my army pretty much, and their game was over.
Yeah, I think he managed to get in on them. They can't transform the first turn when they walk in, and he managed to get on them off of heroic combats off just the base of Bjornins, I think.
Oh well done, Finlay. Second place, maybe not what he was looking for, but got enough 90 points under his belt. Does a 90-point win even help him anymore? Does he need to get 100s?
At this point,
for tiebreakers, I guess. I think it might affect him for the overall league.
Yeah, it affects his GBHL score because your GBHL score's top 6, and he does. He was saying that he thinks he can finish top 10 in the GBHL. I mean, it'll be difficult, and he might need to improve some of those scores. He might need to get big scores, some of the 100s that are coming up. So 90s then might still not be too relevant for him, but it's something he's going to give a go to for sure. I really like that prize that he won, actually. If you've got the picture up.
The Minister flag.
It's not a flag, it's a towel.
Oh, is it?
It's a beach towel.
Aye.
All right.
That would have been the prize I would have wanted, I think, if I'd won.
I was just trying to find, obviously, things that had Andúril on it. So I managed to get the Andúril, hard foam, kind of LARPing sword, the beach towel, and oh no, well, if people had got the tickets in advance, I was hoping to get the Andúril letter openers from the Noble collection. Ideally, I was wanting to get 3 of them to throw into the podium spot, and then 1 for best painted and 1 for most sporting. But sadly, that was not the case. But I did have some backup prizes. So.
Mm-hmm. Moving on to third place is Alex Walker, who's becoming a bit of a familiar name with us. Sort of newish to the scene, as we said before, but he's this maybe third or is it his second podium? Regardless, He was
saying this is his 4th event, and he's had 2 4ths and now 2 3rds as well from 4 events, which is great. That's a great start.
He's not beaten an 80. I'm just trying to think of his top Scott score. Obviously, I handled that.
I wonder if in there's the newcomer table on GBHL, are him or Danny doing well on that?
I will have a little check of that when you talk about his list. I could probably get that up on the thing.
They're both doing well, if I remember correctly. Danny's within.
It's your top 6 scores, so they won't be as high up as you'd maybe hope based on the results. But they will be in a position where if they do quite well at the tournaments that they still have to go, then maybe they could make a wee play.
Surely for newcomer, even if it's top 6, if you've got 4 4ths or something.
Aye, but he's only got 4 scores, full stop.
I know,
His other 2 scores are 0. So,
they'll be at the Scouring, I'm assuming.
I know they are both going to Scouring. Danny's going to the finale certainly, and I think
he's
Alex
going to Christmas event as well. I think the pair of them.
Danny's got a good chance of getting, obviously Alex does as well, but Danny's slightly further ahead. He's got a good chance of getting a podium in the newcomers rankings because he's currently sitting at 18th, which doesn't sound fantastic, but that's with only 3 scores.
Aye.
So he's still got half his scores to get, which the event won't have been counted. And then, as we said, he's got Scouring and finale. I'm not sure if he's going to Ayr, and he might be going to Fraser's, the Christmas event at the end of the year.
I think they're both down for Fraser.
So if they do well at that, we've got every chance.
Alex goes up to 14th in best newcomer off the back of, or maybe 15th in best newcomer off the back of this third place, with still 2 blank scores, which is a lot better than the other people around them because most of them have got the full 6. There's a couple that have only got 5. So, good luck to them, mate. Be nice to see.
Yeah, definitely. He brought up the reclamation of his Goliath for this event then. The 2 big lads, Faramir and then Boromir, because Boromir, does he, don't know if you have the option, but anyway, he's got the horse and the banner. Do you have to take them in this Legion?
I think you have to take the
No.
banner, but you don't have to
No.
take the horse or the shield.
Right.
You don't have to take anything. I
You don't.
don't believe so.
If you're on this
Just
list,
the
you
only
don't
list
take
that-
the banner. You do need checked, though.
You just have to take Boromir.
I mean, he's a bad boy at 225 points. It's a whack, but he's the man, isn't he? Fight 7 beast.
Fight 7, 6 might
yeah.
plus 1 to win on the charge. It's kind of hard to argue with it.
A bit
that
on
plus-
lines, right?
Yeah, the +1 to win the charge synergizes really well with the Andúril because it's not from his weapon. It's just something that he gets as part
Oh,
of
of
his rules.
course, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
So
in
it's on the
theory,
charge, you
you
can
can wound everything on
threes.
2s if you want to, if you decide to do it hand.
Yeah, I mean, unlike Ian, who doesn't really have the banner backing up Wolf, he has obviously got the banner, so he can charge in before attacks, go 2-handed, and just mince something on 2s if he wants to. He's also
Yeah,
got the
6
6
might.
might to back him up to get that 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, as well, is that so I've played against the banner quite a lot, and I hear a lot of negativity about the change. Obviously, going to 4.5 fight value. But I actually think it's class. I think it's still really, really good, and I think there's a bit of an overreaction to the banner not being as good as it used to be. Obviously, like, it isn't as good as on paper, but like, I mean, it was. I mean, I had Iron Hills, I think, against it, and I just got completely battered by it because that's a situation where it's just won the game really. For it was Ian who's using it as well. I think Gondor's still really good. Obviously
I mean,
done really well at this event.
That'll be quite close to what Ian used, probably at point of might.
They're one of the few armies that still gain access to Rangers, which are obviously one of the few units in the game that you're going to get spears and bows with, which is not to be sort of scoffed at because it's just it makes your fighting lines really solid. It means you can shoot without having to worry about too much about
Isn't
to
it the
fight with
only
bows and-
warrior that gets that?
It's the only warrior profile that gets it, but there's other armies that get that profile.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean. Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Well,
what
I
mean,
suppose
yeah, so-
actually depends on how you see Blackroot Vale Archers, I guess, and how different they are.
I mean, that's they're Rangers with spears. It's the same model.
And the Rangers with spears and 1 less courage.
Yes.
No, but I mean, it's the same model. So
Yeah, it's the same,
obviously,
like bit
Rangers of
plastic.
Arnor
It's just painted
are
blue in the
Rangers
book.
of Gondor. Aye, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
There's no other model that has a spear and a bow now, is there?
not that I can think of.
Warrior, that is.
Yeah,
Rangers of the
think
North
off
can
the
still
top-
get them, but they're just trash.
off there being one either. But I know, I mean, this is a list. We've seen a lot of this at the start of the edition, I think, before Armies Mid-Left came out. We've seen a little bit less recently.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
that
I
might
know.
just be people wanting to play some different stuff. But I think it's good, especially this kind of points value. Plays all right up to 700 as well, because you can add Madrill and a few extra
yeah.
guys.
I think it plays well even beyond that. Like it's, I think the downtick we've seen in this being taken, I think, as you say, basically, I think that comes from there being new toys to play with. I think the list is still very solid.
Yeah,
You can take it
no,
up to about
we,
800 with like 3 knights, Faramir, Boromir, Madrill, and like 48 guys overall. And
Yeah.
you've got the fight 4.5. You've got a hero that is next to impossible to deal with without some kind of specific tool like magic. It's I think it's a really solid list, and being able to move around in one cohesive line and not having to split your archers up or compromise your front line like other lists have to do in order to bring decent shooting, I think is
Yeah.
huge this edition.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I'm saying. Like the access to the spear and bow rangers is not to be. It's great, and actually, like Minas Tirith as a legion is I think super good as well. So there's a lot of scope there with as an army to move up the points, and I think Alex will do well to sort of like he's broaden his experiences with different armies using them, and all that does is makes you more equipped to if you play against it. I think that's super useful.
Gives you a wide understanding of what you might end up playing against. However, he was saying after the event that he didn't actually like the army very much. He's gonna switch it, gonna start playing Beyondings again, he thinks, off the back of it. Apparently he wasn't a fan. One of the big things that I think probably had an impact on that opinion, although I don't know this for sure, is that with the scenarios that we had at this event, movement was huge, and this army doesn't have a drum and it doesn't have a marcher, which is really big, and it's only got 2 cav.
Army or not march?
I thought you did. No, that's interesting.
Madril's usually your marcher if you're playing a little bit higher points value.
No, it doesn't have it for Faramir.
But I mean, given that the missions, you could have easily took Faramir instead, Madril instead of Faramir, and then a bunch of extra troops.
You
lose a lot of synergy stuff with a might.
Yeah, so they can spend each other's might, which is big.
I know, but I mean, mission 1, you want to split up anyway. Mission 2, you're scattering your boys to go and get the treasures, so there's a good chance you're not keeping the heroes together anyway. Mission 3 was you're split up again. Aye.
Yeah, the other big thing with taking
mission
Faramir,
4, if you don't roll the 4 up, you're no next to him for a turn or 2. So I can definitely see why you wouldn't want to do it.
The other big thing with taking Faramir at this event is that he gets the Andúril, and he is so much better at using it than Madril is.
3 attacks, fight 6, round 2 at fight 4,
Yeah, and he can strike.
Convergence, just I guess one thing to touch on. Convergence is quite an interesting mission. It was the first time I'd played it. It's the last of the new missions for me to play, certainly, and I think it was the first time it's been included in the Scottish event. I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah, it's class. I actually really enjoyed it. I still don't like any.
Because I lost a little.
I still don't like Maelstrom scenarios. Like, I just find them.
I mean, that wasn't Maelstrom, but sure, Casper.
I know.
Yeah, Convergence is the one where you've got this corner deployment.
Yeah.
In fairness, the deployment for it is also really annoying.
Yeah, but the game 1 was a Maelstrom, is it not?
Game 1 was Maelstrom.
Yeah, it was Command Battlefields.
Yeah,
the tables at Knightley are actually really Maelstrom friendly compared to as they are in some other places because of like wee individual tables. So getting around the sides was a lot easier than it was than it would be at like the Common Ground, for example, where you've got a big long row of tables and then you've got to like sprint down to the other side.
I played a practice game last night, 2 nights ago against Ross, and Red Tits for Everyone, and we're playing heirlooms, and obviously he just that is a Maelstrom, isn't it? My memory's going blank. It is, yeah. Which is like, so not only do you have the massive RNG on the heirloom, it was RNG on the Maelstrom, so I rolled crap on the Maelstrom. He picked up the heirloom on his first thing, and it was like on a hill troll. And I was like, oh my god, I'll have to run across the table to chase this hill troll down. I hate Maelstrom. It's fresh in the memory still of hating it. Right, well, Bulls, that's interesting.
I like to make it game 1 or 2 if I'm running at an event. I don't like it when it shows up like the second or last game, because it can be very just, I've lost this game because of shite deployment.
I just feel like all you do is alternate the deployments. If you just alternate it, it just all of a sudden becomes less salty.
It would make it better for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to.
It's strange that you can't mic down now. I'm not sure I don't like that.
Right, moving on. I don't want to talk about Maelstrom. It just makes me depressed. Oh, actually, you didn't mention. Did you mention Mark? He did say he won the most kills of Andúril. We didn't say he was the most supporting, did you?
That's Mark O'Brien, not me.
Yeah, and most kills.
And most kills. So it was pretty much a order of come up and pick your prize kind of thing. And he came up, picked Andúril, and then as soon as I noticed, oh shit, he's won that. Which the other prize for that was an actual smaller Andúril, like hard foam Andúril. So that's him wielding both Andúrils. The smallest one he gave to Andrew Kerr, because that's just how nice he is.
Because he's that sporting.
I think they played each other in the last game, didn't they? And just had a good game at the end.
Is that what it was? Okay.
I think so. Can't remember.
Actually,
What's
I
the-
think it was Andrew Kerr actually just jumped on him and just took it. Like he was too busy trying to protect the big one, and the little one got away from him.
I just realised I voted him for most sporting merit. We had an amazing game. It was one of the favourite games I've played in a while, actually. Brilliant.
He did win the Friend of Middle Earth last year, which is like the GBHL's most sporting player of the year. So he's got form for it.
Sometimes I find that this is quite a cynical view in sport, and sometimes I think people just get voted for being like nice, and that's obviously great. But like, actually, our game was super competitive, super giving each other a leeway at times, and obviously probably more so him giving me a leeway because I forget everything. But we played a really played such a tight game.
He's got a bat now. He's a dog.
Yeah, and he was still it's a good way to play. It's really like quite how everyone should play, in my opinion. It's not just letting you do everything. We played to the rules, and it was a class game. Really enjoyed it. So congratulations to Mark O'Brien. Or is it O'Brien or it looks Irish? O'Brien, I don't know.
O'Brien.
O'Brien.
He's just no long moved back up here. I think he grew up in Scotland, but he's moved. He was staying there in Bristol for a while, and he's just recently moved back up to Edinburgh. So I dare say we'll be seeing him at quite a few events going forward. So another nice addition to the scene.
What a guy! What a guy! Congratulations, Mark. Congratulations, Ian, Finlay, and Alex. Talking about Ireland, even though he's not Irish, I'm just an idiot. Moving on to the next event is an Irish event held in Bangor. Is it Bangor or Bangor? I don't know how you pronounce that.
Yeah. I'm going to stop you from calling it Ireland repeatedly because it is in Northern Ireland and some people really didn't like that.
The northern part of Ireland, also known as Northern Ireland. Yeah, that's fair. That's showing my ignorance there. It's Northern Ireland. The event was called Battles of the Coast. The Battles on the Coast, numbers beyond reckoning. What a try-hard title that one is. 100-point GBHL event, 1,000 points. So, a lot of models taking on planes across to Ireland, Northern. 6-game GBHL 100-point event. It was hosted by Conor Glover. I did not attend this, so guys, correct me. Was there any specific list tailoring in the pack, or was it just straight up 1,000 points?
It was 1,000 points. The only thing that was a bit interesting on it was it said that anything that was a banner effect would count as a banner for any banner missions. So, like, say for Andúril, for example, and like in your armies, your Halls for Andúril list.
I could have took Army Thrower.
You could have taken Army Thrower, and Thrower would have counted as the banner.
Done shit.
Which actually made, in some cases, really difficult to get the banner VPs off those armies.
Was that only if that banner effect was local to a model? Because the banner wide effect of Depths of Moria you can't get rid of.
Aye, so that's still.
So that wouldn't have counted, right? Yeah, that would have been cringe.
I think that was the only list building restriction. Say 1,000 points, and it was pools, so there was no set scenarios in. It was just the pools. But I guess the other big thing about it, we'll maybe touch on a little bit more when we look at the results, is that it's IHL scoring, and that does quite impact the lists you might want to take. And I'll run through it just now, actually, because it does impact the tournament quite a bit. It also impacts the list building. The way they do scoring over there is that both of your games, both players start with getting 20 tournament points each per game, and then you subtract or add the victory point difference at the end of it. So say you play a game and you win 7-3, your victory point difference is +4 or -4. So you would go up to 24 and down to 16. So a 20-0 win is huge because you're getting 40 tournament points, your opponent's getting 0. Small wins are less useful, although they do bump, any win at all does bump up to 25, but the loss wouldn't always bump down to 15. So if you lost by 1 VP, so it's an 8-7 win, the winner will get 25 because it's a minimum points for winning. The loser's still getting 19 though. So it's one of these ones you want to keep your losses small and try and get your wins big, and that can really have a big say on things, and it also might change how people write the lists as well, because you kind of want to take armies that can get those big wins, or armies that can at the very least keep them selling the game enough when they're losing, they're not going to lose big. So that was the mindset, I'd say, more so than any actual like army building rules. Like obviously Lidl's event had quite a lot of unique army building rules, whereas this was 1,000 points, but the scoring system might have had a bit of an impact on what people took.
Basically, yeah, the IHL scoring is very much win big, which going into it, if you know that's the, like you're saying, that's what you're entering into. So there's no point. Like personally, I'm not a massive fan of that, but that like if you're there, you need to be taking a list who wins big on purpose. That's very much, yeah, it's part of your list building, right? You don't want to be taking close wins. You got to get big wins. Which I guess will come onto. Yeah.
Like iron it out in a way and explain to me why they think it's bad, and I'm like, I can definitely see why you're like saying that. Like I can see it. Like you're saying,
the thing is, like,
if you know you're going into it, then
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's 100% true. I mean, that's how they do it, and it works for them. And it's good to have something different. I think the obvious. I don't really want to go into it, to be honest, but the obvious thing is that it could be suggested that having a harder like schedule, so to speak, on like who you get drawn against is going to be tough. Because I mean, I won a game 8-7 against Mark, as I spoke about on Rule of Two, and it was like one of my favourite games I've played, but probably an IHL scoring, despite clutching out the win, it probably wouldn't have felt like a win, because, you know, it would have been 8-7, so whatever that would have been. Plus.
Yeah. And
that's the obvious thing, really.
I think it's a scoring system, like we maybe less so yourself, Mark, but I know we all used to play Warhammer Fantasy tournaments and 40k as well. They used to do like the 20-0 system, and I think that's where it comes from as well, is that I want to say it was Ivan Sheen. He used to play Team Ireland for 40k, and I think he sort of ported this scoring system across, went into the Middle Earth scene over there. So it's kind of how majority of their tournaments run, so it's a bit different.
Yeah, so let's go into it then.
Fantasy events.
Yeah, let's not talk about fantasy right now. Right, Dave Farmer won the event, which is a familiar name. I'm sick of him coming up to our region and winning these 100-point events. With fair play to him, we're needing a bit of a challenge with Scouring coming up on the coast. Dave Farmer won it with Depths of Moria. Yeah, I've covered this list quite often, but I guess the major difference at 1,000 points is he's managed to get in the Watcher, plus the Balrog, of course, and 62 models. No drum. There is a drum option, right, for depths. I don't actually run them, but you can have a drum.
There is, right? But it's not taken very often. It's very expensive for what it brings.
I mean, it shouldn't be taken at all in depths, should it? Does it not do what your army bonus does?
I get used to, yeah. I think that was that not the old Legion bonus? It used to be that your drum counted as like a banner or something. I can't remember.
It used to be that it counted as a banner for VPs. I don't know if it still does that. If it does, then you're spending.
At the end of the last
points.
edition, I got upgraded to that, yeah. But I mean, it gave you like an 18-inch banner effect, 18-inch -1 +1 courage potentially. But now your army bonus just gives you that battlefield wide.
So what it does now is that you can play it if you've got both the drummer bearer and the drummer in base contact with it, and whilst it's being played, it gives a +1 bonus to courage checks, -1 courage to your opponent's courage checks, and you get.
Does that stack with the army bonus?
Friendly Moria goblins within 18-inch of it count as being within range of a banner. Are there certain kinds that aren't considered by the army bonus? Maybe that would be my guess.
No, I think maybe
Prowlers. What about Prowlers?
The army bonus does affect Prowlers.
Does it affect Black Shields?
I believe so, yeah.
I mean, obviously, the fundamentally you're then able to get a march, like, so that's obviously the. But you have about 75 captains anyway in the list, so I don't know why you really care about it. It just seems a bit strange.
Yeah, it's not something you take, but having access to the Watcher is definitely a big boost for this at 1,000 points. You get the 2 big monsters, and you still got quite a lot of models as well.
Yeah, was it 1, 2, 3, 4 captains for the audio listeners here? There's 62 models, no bows, which is something I was wondering if I was to build one of these lists, maybe a couple of bows, but not. And the other question I always have is, so the warbands are shield and spear, because I'd personally wondered if you would just take them all with spears, because do you really care about the shields? But take it.
A lot better against shooting.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, of course, but I mean, you could
Trying
probably.
to bows, getting in a position where you just throw a goblin at somebody and go shield. Aye, use that spear somewhere else.
And they have to have. They can't go commando, can they? They have to have a shield or a spear.
Nowadays they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
can't
that's
take the
maybe what I'm
4-point
thinking
ones.
of. I think previously you would just take them in their pants and just take as many as you can.
I've had that in WTC in previous years. Came up against naked Mori goblins. And then
And
because
other-
they're cold sculpts, they've got like obviously the big hole
Got
in
the
the
hole in
chest
them,
where
yeah.
the shield goes in.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
Just had a look at it there. It looks like the drum affects black shields, whereas the army bonus doesn't.
right.
Right.
No, you'll see many of
yeah.
them. Black
I
shield
still
losing.
don't think it gets taken in that
So,
list. Then you take
If
the
you're
black
spending
shield, then they're
75
gonna-
points on that, I don't know what to tell you.
Does it count as a banner for VPs?
I'll see if I can find it again.
The other thing
Because
worth
if it doesn't, it
mentioning.
would have done that in this
Yeah, it
tournament.
does.
Ah,
Right.
okay, right. Well,
Only while it's
aye.
being played, so you can shoot the guys off of it, but yeah.
Because when you started talking about the drummers, I was like, oh shit, did I read something that it was going to be like choose one of these 3 abilities to do per turn kind of thing? But no.
no, that's
Because
like
that would have been cool.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
it is essentially what the army gets. So if you were given it like drum it and then you could march this turn, because what army's got that?
Goblin Town.
No, there's something else I'm thinking of.
The one thing I was just going to mention there, Lido, is so I don't. It'd be interesting actually to hear like a depths player maybe get Andrew Stone and maybe speak to him again. But I don't know what. I mean, he has so he has 5 prowlers. Do the prowlers just become? I mean, there's not much logic in that, right? Or is there? Why 5 prowlers? Why not 10? Like I don't know. Is it just a points thing? Is it?
Could just be a points thing.
For that specific number, it's probably just a points
Are
issue.
they-
Like you don't
are
want to
the
be
warbands
taking
full?
too many of them. No, they're not. The Balrog's
No, they're
got more space
definitely
there.
not.
You don't want to be taking too many of them because you're forced to 2 hands, and they're also they're locked to defense 4. But they give you one. They've the main thing that they've got is the fact that they've got the +1 to wound from having their 2-handed weapons. So they give things that aren't the Watcher or the Balrog a bit more killing power, which is nice. And they've got the thrown
backstabbers as
weapons
well.
and stock and scene as well,
Yeah.
which is nice.
One of the Gundabad armies. That's what I was thinking of. They've got like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
banner ability, Fury, and March.
Those are the things that you used to get from the Siege Tower that now
No,
longer
aye,
exist.
aye.
It's kinda
That's
just
built in the army
into
bonus.
the army bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Aye.
think Prowlers always had stock and scenes. I know they definitely. Did
That's
they always
new.
have it though?
Yeah, that's
Nah,
new.
that's a new thing.
But it means that you
That's
can like
what
stick them on out of the way objectives and things, and opponents can't just ping them off with their archers. They've got to commit troops to it,
Yeah.
which
And if
doesn't
you're
come
bringing
up all the
ships,
time, but it's quite nice.
I
You've got
think
your
they were
thrown
pretty
weapon
much
as
more or
well
less
if you
Wuhan,
do.
stats wise.
If you're hiding them on an objective and someone has to commit a troop to go and take them off, they've got a thrown weapon as well that they
Yeah.
can kill.
It's just I mean, it seems just sort of like, yeah. I don't really
It's interesting to
see.
see Dave's not going for any bows this time because I'm pretty sure when I played him at the Masters, but at the Masters he didn't have a Balrog. It was just like 500 points to depths, 550 points to depths actually, but just Goblin spam, and he'd taken quite a few bows, I think, from memory. Then now he's decided to drop them.
Did you know what your scenarios were?
Yeah, so the scenarios we played, game 1 was a Maelstrom. It was the newer Maelstrom one, Sites of Power, where there's the 4 objectives, 1 in each table quarter, that do different stuff each turn. Game 2 was Assassination. Game 3 was Retrieval. Then Game 4 was Fog of War. Game 5 was Treasure Hoards. And Game 6, which is the final one, was Stake a Claim. So not a bad set of scenarios for this army. And I wouldn't say it's quite adept at assassinating things. In assassination, it can keep the goblin captains pretty safe. Same in Fog of War as well. It's probably keeping whichever goblin captain it chooses to protect. It's going to keep it quite safe. It's got the Watcher to try and kill the model that it's going after. Stake a claim quite slow, so it'll start off it'll start off behind, but it's got enough models to get right up there in the fortification points. Maelstrom, it's fine. There's a lot of warbands watching kind of come up wherever he wants.
This wasn't an event where you're allowed to bring your own terrain piece, because I remember Dave was...
No, that's City of Kings, I think it is. You can bring your own terrain piece, and Dave did take it. He took depths to that as well, and he brought
a river.
A bit of deep water, which is cool. Like, that's fair. Yeah, but that's a big part of that event pack, so it's fair.
Did you know the order of the pools, or was it all just totally random?
Totally random, yeah. We've got the pools you can only use each pool once, but they were random order.
Cool. Well done, Dave Farmer.
You've got a picture of the trophy there. It's a really nice trophy. I chuck a picture in with Dave. It's the golden Gimli. It's a really nice golden Gimli statue that Dave won. That's his third year winning Banger now. So he loves a wee trip across.
I think this will be his year for the league, it looks like.
It looks like it now. I think Jakob needs to win 3 off the GBHL 100s that are left, and I don't know how many. I think there might only be 4 left, and he doesn't have a ticket for Scouring yet. So he would have to go and win basically his next 300s to even
How far
tie
up
Dave.
in the reserve list is he?
He was on the reserve list, and I offered him a ticket and said that he couldn't commit at this moment in time, so he might make a last-minute decision, but we'll see.
Is he up at the top, though? I mean,
there's no reserve list right now, so we'll do a wee shout-out for that later, but...
Okay, moving on. So obviously that was first place. And then second was a familiar ugly man called Dave Reed.
Like...
stabbed in the back. Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like I don't know if she's firing at Liddell, not at Dave. Dave's normally quite nice. Dave, second place, 100-point event. Must be pleased with that.
Very happy with the result. Ugly maybe is a way to describe the victory. I did very much take advantage of the IHL scoring system that we spoke about earlier. I did actually only win 3 games off the 6. I went 3 wins, a draw, and 2 losses at this event, and managed to come second. So it does feel like maybe like a scam the second place a wee bit in some people's opinion. But I've been there in the reverse before, where I've won 5 games at this tournament and finished 5th. So I'll take it. Like, absolutely happy with the second place. My prize is getting posted across to me. Like, if you see it in the picture, it's like a wee replica Sting. Quite a miniature one, but it's really cool. But the corner was right away. It was like, I'm just going to post that to you rather than having you risk taking it in your hand luggage. So I was like, cheers. Look forward to getting that back.
Dave with a King's Champion. That's controversial for you.
I think the King Champion is better in this edition for a couple of reasons. One being that you kind of struggle to pass banners anyway now, because you can only pass banners to troops that can take banners. So that makes the Heralds with their fate more survivable than just a regular banner bearer. Whereas the previous edition, you could pass a banner to anybody, and because they're hero banners, you can't. I always thought that the Heralds were less survivable than they were made out to be from experience. But now I think they are actually a bit better.
Because Black Dart change will have helped you a lot there on the going down strength 6 and range 6, so that's probably quite big.
It's just less prevalent as well. There's just less casters to do that too. Yeah. Also, you just want, in 1,000 points, I wanted a second striker and a second sort of combat guy that I could chuck into big heroes, because I figured there would be a few of them around.
Yes, you went for Durin, King, King's Champion, Dwarf Captain. I'm not very well versed with Khazad-dûm in particular. Is there anything here that you consider was sort of, 18 Khazad Guard and a warband with Durin? That would have been interesting on a Maelstrom just coming on its own. Any comments on your list? Any thoughts about that?
My Maelstrom game was against the Shire, so I just came on and started chalking up some hobbits. But I reckon any Warband 18 dwarfs would have been quite well equipped to come in and chop up some hobbits. The list, I kind of went for all the troops that I like. So at 56 models, I've got 15 Rangers, which means I can win a shooting war against certain things. It wasn't that many, especially with the Dwarf Mirrors as well, because you're at -1. Your opponents are at -1 to hit. So I could definitely win a shooting war if there had been missions where that was relevant. There wasn't really very many that came up. But with 15 Dwarf Rangers, and I think I've got 11 Warriors plus a Captain, that is 27 Dominant 2 models. So Dominant 2 is quite a big thing in this edition, and I had tons of it. Because I always find a lot of time people end up taking a lot of all-hero stuff at 1,000 points. You think the armies are going to be really big, and they end up not being as big as you'd expect. But I have a lot of Defense 7 in there as well, so like that's not the easiest thing for all heroes to crack. And yeah, I took a spread of the troops and a mix of the heroes, but like I've got 2 Fight 6 characters and 1 Fight 7 character in there enduring. A couple of strikers, a couple of marchers. So if I get split up, I've got a march on each side. If I needed to, again, we didn't have any corner deployment missions, but if I did, had that as an option. And the banner bearers, that's the other thing I used to dislike about the King's Champion, is that he took up both your banners in that one warband. But now with the army bonus, you've got that like banner effect everywhere. So even if you do have to split up your army, the King's Champion being away, you're actually more inclined to use the 2 banners to give him the defense 9 in some matchups now. Whereas previously I never done that because it was so important to have one of the banners like further down your line. You don't need that so much now. So
yeah, 56 models. You're mentioning army size. I mean, you're only 4, 5, 6 models less than Adept Memorialist, which obviously Balrog and the Watcher like, but I mean, you're not like you've good numbers really. 56 for dwarves,
huge.
Not bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think I outnumbered, with the exception of the Shire army that I played in the first game, which had 109 or something, maybe more. I think, no, it was more because its breakpoint was bigger than my actual army, I think. I can't remember exactly how many it had,
Really?
but like, apart from the Shire, I outnumbered everybody else that I played with that quality of troops, which was big.
Is there a reason for having all 18 of the Khazad Guard in the one warband? Because you could put them in with the king as well, couldn't you?
No, you can't. They're elite, and the only model that can take them is Durin. Dwarf Kings can take them if they are the general, but only if they're the general.
Okay. I thought they could just also take them as well. That makes sense. Fair enough.
On the subject, when you mentioned Hearthguard there, I think having been to the tournament and played it, and seen the sizes of armies that other people were bringing, I probably would have dropped 2 9-point guys to upgrade all of the Khazad 2 Hearthguards. That was
going to be my next question.
I normally don't think that's worth it because usually it affects your model count a bit too much. But in this case, I probably had the points to spend on it. And I think having played against the armies that I played against, I'd have quite liked them to have been Hearthguard. So that might have been a change if I was to tweak it.
18 Hearthguard. I mean, I'm actually surprised you even own 18 Khazad. I mean, is that not quite outrageous as well?
I own 22, so if anybody wants to buy 4,
hold on to them for the next edition.
Oh, right enough. So you actually is that so you can only take them in during? Oh wait, yeah, because a king could only ever take what does he do? 12,
15,
15. Yeah. 15. So you can only ever use 18 max then. Right?
18, yeah.
That's hilarious. Oh well done, Dave. 3 wins is to get seconds. I mean that's the rules, right? I mean I'm pretty sure coming on to 3rd place, he'd have a different opinion on the
maybe just a little bit.
Yeah, 3rd place again on his tear, Ian McGregor. Now I think he did go 5-1 in games, right?
He did, yeah. He went 5-1. His only loss was to Dave Farmer.
Yeah, he lost to Dave.
Like 5-1.
Yeah, he lost to Dave, but I think it was like 13-12 or something. It was tight.
It was a really tight game in Assassination that he lost to Dave, and that was game 2, so an early one. Dave did go 6-0, by the way. So like, and I think I want to say he's 18-0 over his 3 trips to this event, which is pretty insane. But I know Ian went 5-1. He had quite a tough run as well because he played. He lost to Dave. He beat me game 3. That was a really weird game. Like I actually made I was proper kicking myself in that. Like it was a nice game, like a nice chill game, but like I was kicking myself because to lose that because he had 30 Bjornins, as you can see in his list there. I killed 25 of the Bjornins and lost 11 dwarfs, and I still lost the game. And I was like furious with it. It was retrieval, and
That's
he,
sick,
the
man.
way that I'd kind of set up was he ended up splitting his bears, and because he split the bears, the middle, his centre line didn't really have the bear banner. So I was chewing through these Bjornins, like the Fight 5 and the Kazagard as well really helped. And I just left my relic free. I don't know why, but like I had protected it, and I just moved guys away, and then Bjorn just appeared and scoops up the relic and puts it in his hand. And as soon as he's got it, it's like, well, now I need to kill him, either kill Bjorn to get the relic back, or hope the game goes on long enough for me to get his relic. And I think I needed it to go on for 3 turns, and if it did, I'd have got his relic and I'd have won. But it just ended immediately, and I was like, I couldn't believe that I'd done it because like. I've historically had such a hard time against Bjornins, and I've seen my army get proper decimated by them, and here I'm destroying them. Like as I say, killed 25 at the 30, and I'm still losing the game. So I was really disappointed with how I played that. He'd say he played well, because he was in a losing position the entire game, and he managed to take advantage of my mistake and pick up the prize.
So, the VPs on retrieve. I mean, I can't remember. I mean, he surely just moved it. There's no way he had it on his table.
He just moved it, which is it's 7.
7.
6. No, 6. Sorry, but you also get points for killing heroes, and he did kill my Dwarf King. So
was there for banner VPs because he wouldn't have a banner? I mean,
no banner VPs. No, so I got 4 points, of which it was a wound on Bjorn. And 3 points for breaking them without being broken.
And that was it.
You needed the banners,
didn't you?
Yeah, but the good thing about that in the scoring system, albeit it was a 7-4 loss, I've lost by 3, so I'm still getting 17 points, and he's only getting 25. So it's not that big a difference in the tournament points. Even though I got a loss there. And he beat Finlay as well in a mirror match. He beat me. In his last game, he played Dave Murphy, who was using lots of scouts, and that was in his Stake a Claim, which is the one with the fortification points. So he had to come back.
A hard game.
Yeah, he had. It's because it was a ton of scouts. Because he had 5 warbands with drummer as well, so quick, and he had to come back for quite a deficit in the fortification point count to come back and win that. And I think he won at 10-3. So I think Ian's issue just was only that a lot of his wins were small. He never really managed to get that big commanding win. So he did really well to get 5 wins. And under Norm's scoring system, he'd have been a clear second place. But although saying that, you say that, his matchups probably would have changed because
he
would have probably had to play Farmer a second time in the final.
It's one of those things, I wouldn't want to play that scoring system all the time, but everybody knows what the scoring system is going into the event.
Yeah.
So it's not like anyone's getting the rug pulled out from under them.
It doesn't surprise me that Bjornins would have all these sort of close wins and close losses, because it's just how it works, right? You don't really. It's just the way the army works, I think.
Bjorn and Go Smash.
Yeah, I mean, they can win massively, but I think at 1,000 points, the bears become less sort of just completely swingy, whereas
start to see more tools that can deal with them.
Yeah, so you're going to win, but just win. But yeah, so it's about
the highest points you can play them at. I think the maximum points now is 1,060, and you're never going to get an 1,060 point event. So 1,000's about the maximum you're ever going to get to play them competitively.
1,000's, it's because they actually used to be 1,000 because they both players used to be Heroes of Valor, but now Bjorn is a legend, so you can take those extra 3 guys.
Bjorn is a legend.
My last 2 games, I thought I was out of the tournament, honestly. After game 4, and I played Chris Murphy, he had the Champions Erebor, and I had to play him in Fog of War, and it was a Goblin Town board as well. The Goblin Town board, it looked really cool, but in that mission in Fog of War, he can just march these 13 heroes up to his terrain piece that he's going for. Doesn't he really care to show his hand in that way almost? And I'm only fighting him really piecemeal. and he just like he gets all his army together, they get all the bonuses, and like he just beat me up. But again, I managed to conserve the victory points, and I got my terrain piece, I kept my hero alive, that sort of stuff. But it was still a loss, and it was a second loss. I'm like, this is my tournament done. I was able to get a 20-0 win in my 5th game against Stephen McChrystal. We had House of Ferandville in Treasure Hoards. No, not in Treasure Hoards, sorry, in Escape the Wounded. And then I played Chris again in the last game, but it was in Stake of Claim. So that time it was the exact opposite. Like his 13 models, they have to spread out, try and control 4 bits of the board. And I've got so many guys, and the Fight 5 is really quite good against some of the Champions Era board, because some of them are only Fight 5. And I'm able to get loads of traps off on them and just get a massive like lead in the kill count. So I won that game 18-1. It meant in my last 2 games I've got 77 tournament points out of 80, which is like a crazy amount of tournament points that catapulted me right up. I only had 80 tournament points for the first 4 games, and then I got 77 in the last 2. Shot me right up. So
nice.
it was.
Did he have
Yeah,
the elk with Rando, out of curiosity?
Stevie, no, his Ferrando was on foot.
It's so funny. I mean, like 1,000 point. I mean, I was the same because I took Thermal Halls. No, I didn't take Halls. I took Battle of 5 Armies, 1,000 points, and I still couldn't make myself take the elk. But what a shame!
It's such a nice model.
It's a shame. Yeah, it looks class, but you barely ever see it getting taken outside of either like really fringe jank lists last edition, or people that are purely taking it because they like the model.
So
why?
I don't think it's bad. It's just that it doesn't like it actually is like a sideways step for like 30 points, if that makes sense. Because like you know, the base size is a pain in the arse. Like you actually. The way his rules work is you want to always be outnumbered.
Was increased.
Yeah, you always want to be outnumbered. Yeah, 30 points or something.
Also, like a lot of like the utility you get, or a lot of the strengths you get out of Thranduil come from rules that only trigger when he's infantry.
Yeah, but you want to be outnumbered, like I'm saying, and it's obviously the elk has like impact hits. So what can actually happen is you can like charge 2 models, kill 1, and then you're no longer outnumbered, and it's just sort of like. It's still good. You're still a Fight 7 beast on an elk, but my point is it's almost like a sideways step because you know, so it is a shame because like 1,000 points should be the perfect time you go on paying 30 points for this elk, and you just don't really.
Although I've just noticed there, looking at the list, he doesn't actually have the option for the horse anymore.
No, they got rid of it because
that's so well gone.
Aye, they done right away with that model.
That's mad.
Which is
never made a model, so it just
no, they did.
No,
they did make the model.
Yeah.
They just discontinued it.
Yeah,
all right.
Jamie Baxter's got one. It's painted very nice.
The horse is like jumping on his back legs.
I think the other thing with like having Ferrandville on a mount is that like the army benefits so much from having like him being nearby that if you've got him on a mount, there's that temptation to like run him away. Or even like you want to get the best out of them, so you've got them on the flank and you're like trying to get in behind other people, and I think you just you're not using them to the best of his ability with his army bonuses.
It's a shame. It's a shame.
There's a lot of armies that have choices that have just may as well not exist anymore because there's just something infinitely better. Like Beregond for Gondor is the same points as Irolas, but one does a lot better.
Anyway,
that's what I mean. He does a lot more than what Beregond does, which is nothing. He brings a strength 3 bow. Like, I mean, you've just seen Dave there use that army with Durin. Did he even think about taking Murden? No, because he's got better options to take. It's just kind of a shame when a lot of these heroes have just been like thrown in the bin, really.
Basically, you could take it, but you're a meta slave as well, and you want to take the most tuned stuff you can. If you want to be fun, you can take the elk. I am a slave and I do not take it. I'm not even painted the elk. It's the best. That's my favourite model in the game, I think. It's cool as anything. But anyway, I just wanted to ask because you said you played Halls twice at 1,000 points. And
if you're ever going to see it, it'll be there. And if it's not getting taken there, it's not a good look.
I think bring it down.
No, he said he played Chris twice.
Oh,
Aye, I played Halls in between though. But,
right,
yeah.
sorry. I thought you said twice.
Nah, I played Chris. It's Champions Erebor. I played twice. As I say, we got the reverse of the matchups though, and that like I played the first one was quite good for him, but thankfully I got a small loss for it, whereas the second one was good for me and I got a huge win. But I did go over to go all the way to Northern Ireland and played against Chris twice, Ian once, and Minnie Woosty once. So I've played 4 Scottish people, but there was 8 of us there and we were a third of the field, so you kind of just had to accept it.
A good Scottish representation. Then when the English won it, second and third was Scottish, and then moving on to the best painted. We mentioned them before, Alex.
The Scottish
Burgess.
are obviously just vastly superior players as well.
It does seem a little odd that you managed to come second at an 100 by only getting 3 wins against your mates.
I lost. Both of my losses were to Chris and Ian.
Yeah, that's true.
And the draw was the money.
And the draw was to Minnie, yeah, that was a bit of a stinking matchup, to be honest. It was assassination against 3 dragons, so I actually treated that draw as a win.
Not bad.
I treated that draw as a win, to be honest. I was pretty happy with it.
Burgess with the best painted, was it this, I put it on the screen just now,
Grass is still
I think that's a record as well. He seemed to think, certainly, at the very least, it's more than last year's winner of Artisan of the Year was John Partridge, and Alex was tied with him last year. So it went down to the tiebreaker, which John won. But they were on 8 last year, so now to be on 9, at the very least, he's broke his own personal record and last year's. I don't know if anyone historically might have had more, but he's definitely going for the double figures. And I think with the amount of tournaments he has left,
good chance of getting that.
It's achievable for him. But this was Defenders of Pelennor that he was running. It was close to being an all-hero list, but he did have a few, I think 3 Wars of the Dead in there. I know he'd painted up, and he painted up the Aemir, I think, specifically for this event. Again, that's on his Facebook page, which we mentioned before, is of Swords and Paint, if you want to go check it out. It's a really nice army. Like, he's picked some really nice models, like very nice sculpts of those particular characters, and he's got I like the way he does the writing, like the character's name on the base as well, like the freehand. That's really cool.
You should forget who they are.
I've actually commissioned some Rohan off him that he's doing for me, hopefully in time for scouring.
That'd be good.
It should be helpful.
I keep trying to, you won't know him, Mark, but my mate Gordon Miller, shout out to Gordon, he does listen to the podcast, he says, and I keep saying, listen, you need to come to these Lord of the Rings events, because the painting, Alex just wins absolutely. He does actually, like he just not much, just with school, like work and teachers and stuff, but I was like, you have to come and paint, because he's painted up like an Aemir and Theoden and stuff. I'll send it to you, and it's like outrageous. It's like so good. Yeah, actually, I don't know if you saw.
Really nice.
He actually has in White Dwarf this month like an 8-page cover, like article in it. Gordon.
Oh, really?
Jesus, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. What? Is that 40k or?
Yeah, it's like we went down for Gordon's stag do down to Warhammer World, which is it just goes to show how geeky we are. But we drove down pretty drunk, to be honest. And we played
not the driver, just for clarity.
Nah, Stevie Jack was the he was the designated driver.
That's fine.
And
covered the back.
Gordon filled us up with some egg McMuffins in the morning, but Dobie cracked out the alcohol, so we're pretty drunk by the time we got there, to be honest. But the reason why we were going was because he was to drop off his tow at Warhammer World, and I can't remember, like it was about a year later, if not a year and a half later, the White Dwarf came out. I don't know, I'll maybe get him to fact check this, but I think it's this month, because I don't think I've missed it, but it's literally like 5 or 6 pages of just his tow and White Dwarf this month.
Could be really.
It's you can have a look.
It'd be really cool to see, but no, I mean, it would be nice to see. Like, I know Gordon as well, and it'd always been a good painter, so it'd be nice to see him coming along to some midlife events. I'm sure Alex would relish the challenge for the painting as well. Like, and it's always nice
Alex
to see
is absolutely killing it. Like, absolutely. It's just every time I see it, I'm like, Gordon, you need to come. You do well.
But just checking his wins for last year in Top Scot. That was 10. So
I think some of those he won a couple of at least one.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just saying for Top Scot purposes. Yeah.
And I think we've got a photo of the second place best army as well.
These dragons.
It was really cool. It was one dragon, and then the rest were cave drakes. but they had all like the wee egg markers for the babies, and
That's
like
class.
just the colours in that were really nice, like nice basing as well.
Yep.
It won best theme. It's a guy called Mike Wilson. I'd never met him before, I don't think anyway, but and I didn't play him, although I don't know if any of our guys did. I assume we would have, there was 8 of us. But really cool looking army. They had a thing they did for the painting. You had to vote for your top 2 armies, and and I think that the first place, like whatever you put as your first choice, maybe got like 2 points, and then your second place got 1 point. But a different way of doing it, and the fact there's a prize for the runner up as well is quite nice.
Yeah, it was class. I mean, I know that Mini Woostie's currently in one of our chats, he's currently making lava bases, and I hadn't saw this picture before, and obviously it's for his dragons. I wonder where the inspiration came from. Pretty obvious here.
Aye,
cool.
It was a cool looking army.
Yeah, it was smart as anything. So I was runner up, was it, for best theme, and then obviously we had, I don't know too much, most beacons lit Connor Kerr, most sporting Paddy McCormick.
Aye, so the beacons, lighting the beacons was it was like a wee side quest. Across the middle line on every round across the middle line, you deployed 3 objectives, and you could go, and they were supposed to be beacons, and you could light them in the same way that you destroy a supply marker. So you move into base contact with it, didn't fight, didn't shoot, didn't cast magic, that sort of stuff, and that lights the beacon. And once you've lit the beacon, it's yours. So there's 3 of them up for grabs in every game, so a maximum of 18. That you could get throughout the tournament. I think I got 12, which was like sort of averaging 2 every game. But Connor and I forgot the guy's name, but he's in the picture. There's he was tied with another guy. They both got 17, which was really, really cool. Luckily, Connor Glover, the TO, had actually ordered a second. He'd ordered 2 copies of the prize. I don't know deliberately or if it was just a mistake and an extra one came, but he had an extra copy of the prize, which was like a flag. I don't know if it's a flag of Minas Tirith or what kind of flag it was, but it was a Middle Earth flag anyway, for lighting the beacons. And Connor Kerr managed to get 17 out of 18 of those, which was pretty cool.
What a guy! What a guy!
And
yeah.
Yeah, Paddy McCormick for sporting. Paddy's a really nice guy. I never got to play him this time, but I have a few games with him in the past that have always been really enjoyable, and he's been across the Scouring a few times, so no surprise to see him winning the sporting, because nice guy, good player as well. A good painter too, actually, like pretty good all-round hobbyist is Paddy.
Good stuff. I could say probably Mark and Liddell, you weren't there either, were you, Alan? It was pretty jealous looking from afar, but it seems like a really good event. Nice to get the 2nd, 3rd, Scottish 4th, 5th as well. Big Andy Stone coming in just in the rear there in Connor.
Saying 7 of the 8 of them were in the top half, which is pretty good going.
Aye, the only person that wasn't in the top half was Alex, who obviously he competes on the paint. Well, he competes for painting and he won best painting, so
you could have just left the name out there, Dave. You didn't need to mention which fucking Scottish player, but nah.
I think it's fine. He won't care. He's very happy that he won.
So I wouldn't
be
surprised if he was a bit distracted, because I saw a Facebook post saying what he was up to in Ireland, and he seems to have experienced the entirety of Northern Ireland as a country while he was over there.
He was there for about a week and a half.
Caffeine
gone. All right, I thought that was in just like a few days.
No, Alex does fencing as well, and he had a fencing tournament the weekend before in Dublin, so in South Ireland. So rather than fly home, he's just had a holiday and had a great time himself.
Apparently he's seen castles and cathedrals and museums and seen a play and loads of other things. Sounds like a class time to be fair.
Fair play, I was jealous for sure.
No, it's a great trip. These events are always really good, because when you get a big group of folk going across, and out of the, I think there was 6 of us on the same flight, so we went across together, and it's just fun trip away, and you get to go away with your mates and get to enjoy the hobby, but spending time together when you're away as well is always good.
I think they're definitely. I seem to moan a lot about this, but I feel like this year I've not been to as many events, and I do miss a good 2-day. Northern Ireland, even away up to we went up to Elgin, or even down to whatever it may be. I'm choking on it. It just it's almost really better than the event at times, just getting away and just going into Ireland with your pals or whatever. It's seems like everyone had a good time. I know that Mini Woostie, he doesn't really go away, and he said he's got the bug for it again, so just goes to show.
I think he'd only ever done one tournament outside of Scotland that was about 10 years ago down in Stockport. So it was his first proper trip in ages. And he seemed to really love it. Same for Andy as well, I think. He was at WTC this year, which was in England. But with that exception, again, it was one of his first trips away. So it was nice to see a few more of the guys taking that step. And I chucked a wee photo there in the chat. We went to like a darts bar on the Sunday night that was just around the corner. Had a few drinks there, some pizza and like burgers and stuff, and just played some darts and had a good laugh. And that was nice. It was a good time.
Class.
I think there'll be at least 8 two-day events next year, Casper, for you in Scotland.
I'll tell the wife. I mean, actually, do you know?
Nothing's obviously set in stone because the calendar's not out. But off the top of my head, what people have been talking about and mentioning, I'm doing a 2-day event, then I think it's about 8.
I think to be honest, the 2-day 90 pointers are a bit sort of like class, but it's like it's quite a lot to ask for, and it's only 90 points in terms of just like life and work balance, things like that.
That'll be 5 and 3.
But obviously there's a green hollow. It's green hollow, it's called, which is like I think it's actually on my son's first birthday. So I've already tried to cross that sort of bridge, but we'll wait and see how it goes. Like,
son, I've got a great idea for a day out for your birthday.
He's not going to be bothered. And then obviously when he's older as well, he'll be like, "That's class. My dad went away to play a tournament. He sounds cool." Or maybe
you don't know how your son's going to grow up. Like, he's going to be calling you like a geek or something. Like,
well, I mean, I don't know.
You'll probably grow up calling you Casper.
It's not looking good for our hero. Like, I'll tell you that. Aye, cool. I don't think there's much more of us to cover this episode, which is good. I was getting a bit of jip of Jakey Gordon because I think last episode I said we'll try and make it a bit shorter, and it went 1 hour 50 or something.
Yeah,
well, this is shorter than that. At least.
So I just wanted to say, like, a big thanks to Connor for running the event. It's really good. I've been for the last few years and always really enjoy it. But nice selection of prizes. It's quite a cool venue as well. It's like a kind of gaming club type place. It was on the One Show, if you're an avid One Show viewer. So nice chilled venue and nice terrain and stuff. So good event, and hopefully it is only a 90 next year, but hopefully we'll still see a few of us managing to make it across, back across for it. So. And even if no, like if you're a Northern Irish player or like living in South Ireland and you're listening to us, get yourself up to Bangor for some tournaments next year, because a few guys run tournaments for that venue. So
yeah, I'd like to go a wee trip someplace next year, I think.
Other thing I want to plug for them as well, just when we're on the thing, is if people wanted to see the other lists that were at the event, Connor, the TO, he has a YouTube channel, Wookie's and Mirkwood, and they did a full list review of all of the 24 lists. So you could see all the other lists that there's other rest of Scottish guys took, but all the other lists that were in play at the event. So we'll chuck a wee link to that in the description if you're interested in it.
Definitely, yeah. What's up next then, guys? Is it Scouring? No, what are the
AR this weekend?
Oh yeah,
loads of tournaments before.
I mean, by the time we get obviously people listen to this, AR will have probably happened.
You trying to have a dig at my turnaround time at Eden?
No, I mean, well, currently this is Wednesday, so I'm not expecting.
No chance you're getting this shit out by Friday
or Saturday or Sunday.
I mean,
you get out for Saturday, people can listen to it during their games.
Is it just me that's going to air out the 4 hours, or is it any of you guys?
I think now, yeah. I was planning on it, but life has got in the way.
It's always just me.
Yeah, and I couldn't get the weekend off for both that and the Kelpie. Which is
shocking that Casper's not going down to defend his title.
2-day
event.
Actually,
I think, yeah, Ayre's been somewhat of a stomping ground for me, so to speak. I don't know if it was second. I've definitely podiumed. Well, I won it last. Lie, my memory. I knew I won
you
it.
You podiumed the year before. I think you were second behind Connor.
I think I podiumed the year before, then won it this last year.
I played you twice in it last year.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Using Arnor.
Played game 3 and 6.
Is that your Arnor?
Yeah. And then when we went up to the higher points, I added in Glorfindel and a little bit of Rivendell stuff.
Yeah, I really enjoy it.
Yeah. Kelpie Conquest 2 is next weekend, so in theory you'll be listening to this, so it'll be this weekend. Me and Dave are going down to that. Then we'll have we'll have 2 weeks gap, and then we'll be at Scouring.
I think content-wise, the next episode will probably cover Ambush Air and the Kelpie Conquest. But if you might well listen to this, and if you fancy a wee trip up to Keith, which is up like Elgin Way, there are still some tickets available for the Kelpie Conquest. So if you're listening to it before, it's the first weekend of November.
Lists were due in by now. So you might need to message before you buy a ticket, just to make sure he's still accepting people.
Yeah. I think that'll be the next episode. We'll probably be covering those two events and maybe some extra stuff, and then that'll give some gap before scouring.
He also might have done a draw by then, so definitely message before you buy a ticket.
I can try and fire it out. I mean, it was 2 weeks since episode 3, so we'll see.
Obviously, I'm not saying that for you, Casper. I'm just saying that for anybody that thinks about buying a ticket, a last minute ticket to Kelpie. The better.
What, you're running up the Kelpie Lido? I'll put my cards on the table. Like, I'm taking the Scouts again of getting the last 10, and I'm paying.
Kelpie, do you mean here? Oh, no, you're taking
No,
Kelpie.
Kelpie Conquest. Because of the missions, I was going to use one of my 2 lists for scouring. I might still be using one of my 2 lists for scouring. But what I ended up taking was Men of the West. So Aragon and Legolas and Gimli with guys.
What points is it, the Kelpie one?
800.
Oh, shit. Nice.
805 games, pre-selected scenarios. So.
One of them being Contest of Champions, so I was like, aye, Aragon, cool.
I am going to wrap it up there because we've gone for ages, but I think this is good. So we're at 1 hour 30 this time, guys. So we are getting there, but hopefully this was a good episode for everyone. Congratulations to Dave, Reed, Farmer, Ian, so on, Alex. My memory's gone blank already, to be fair, but hopefully.
If you've got Dave and you've got Alex, you've probably done all right.
Before you cut it off there, I will say to our viewers that at the end of next episode, so episode 5, there will be a giveaway for one lucky listener.
Tune in next week and find out.
Well, there we go. That's
tell me more. No, don't.
In the next episode.
I mean, I will in the next episode, so tune in.
Yep, that's correct. Right, yep. Tune in next time, episode 5. Good to see everyone again, and we'll see you next time on the Witch King podcast. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.